So in part four of my all-time favourite Arsenal 11, I'm going to pick one of my two centre-backs. Hello, I'm Richard and welcome back to my channel over and over and over again, which is the Positive Arsenal channel. This is part four of my series of picking my all-time favourite Arsenal 11. And in this video, I'm going to be picking the first of my two centre-backs. I've got three on my shortlist for today's video. Just before I get into all that, I just want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you like what I do, please click on the subscribe button down in the corner there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as well. If you've got any comments at all about which centre-backs you would pick and anything else to do with Arsenal at all, please drop them in the comments box as well, because I do love to hear from you guys as well. So I've got to start with this guy. He played in the first ever match at Highbury I went to in 1981, and of course ended up being the record Arsenal appearance holder with 722 appearances in a 20-year Arsenal career. Very calm defender as well. He'd already played quite a lot of games before I even saw him, so he was already a bit of a veteran by that point. He'd actually joined Arsenal in 1973. And made his debut in 1975 in a match away at Burnley. He was actually the youngest Arsenal player ever to make 100 appearances and 200 appearances. And even by the time he'd made 400 appearances, he was only 26. He did captain the side in 1982 to 1983 briefly. And in the end, he won 2 league titles, 2 FA Cups and 2 League Cups. So a fantastic servant for Arsenal. Of course, later on, he did play briefly for Leeds before taking over there as manager, and also he managed Aston Villa as well, and rumoured that he might be coming back to Arsenal in a directorial capacity, which could be really good for the club. My first choice for my top 3 central defenders is David O'Leary. So second on my list then, Martin Keown. Of course, he did have 2 spells at Arsenal. He originally joined the club in 1980 on a schoolboy forms and made his debut in 1985 against West Bromwich Albion. Of course, he did leave the club the following year after the appointment of George Graham and joined Aston Villa, and he would later play for Everton. But George Graham bought him back in February 1993 for £2.2 million, and he ended up playing 449 games for the club, scoring 8 goals. And he actually won 6 major trophies as well, 3 league titles, 2 FA Cups, and of course 1 European Cup Winners' Cup. And of course he was part of the Invincible team as well. That was his last season. And of course during that season was that famous match at Manchester United, and of course a famous incident with Ruud van Nistelrooy. A great leader, of course, a great player for Arsenal over a number of years, and really successful. He also made 43 appearances for England as well in his career. He did briefly play for Leicester and Reading after leaving Arsenal, and of course now he's a regular pundit, isn't he, on Match of the Day and on Sky. But a great player for Arsenal over a number of years. My second choice is Martin Keown. So finally then, for this section of central defenders, I've picked Sol Campbell, another really successful player for Arsenal. Of course, he began his career up the road, didn't he, at Spurs. He made over 300 appearances for them, scored 15 goals, and of course did captain them to the League Cup in 1999. Of course, we signed him in 2001 on a free transfer, and he went on to win the double in his first season, didn't he? As the song goes, he stayed at Arsenal, of course, until 2006. Initially, another defender actually who had 2 spells at the club, because he did briefly return in 2010. In the end, he made 211 appearances for Arsenal, scored 12 goals, including, of course, the goal that gave us the lead in the 2006 Champions League final. In the end, with us, he won 2 league titles and 3 FA Cups. Although he never really seemed to play with a smile on his face, did he? He always seemed to be quite grumpy and miserable, but very good defender as well. He played 73 times for England as well, scored in the World Cup against Sweden in 2002, if you remember that. So my third choice for my centre-back is Sol Campbell. So that's the top 3 then for this particular position of my first centre-back. I've got to whittle this down to one player, of course, to join David Seaman, who's my goalkeeper, and then the two fullbacks, Lee Dixon at right back and Nigel Winterburn at left back. Which one of these three central defenders is going to get the first slot in that defence? It's really quite a difficult choice. This all three absolute legends for the club, won a lot of trophies. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to rule out Sol Campbell on this particular occasion. Although he was a successful spell at Arsenal, he was a former Spurs captain. And I said he never really seemed to enjoy playing football, did he? There was a game he walked out of, if you remember. So all things considered, I'm afraid Sol Campbell is ruled out on this out of these three. So that leaves it a straight choice between Martin Keown and David O'Leary. Very little to choose between them both, actually. I really love Martin Keown as a player. Fantastic career he had at Arsenal when he came back for the second time. And of course, there's David O'Leary, the record appearance holder. And we'll remember how emotional he got when we won the league in 1989. Of course, his first league title so late in his Arsenal career. So in the end, out of the choice, I'm going to go with, for my first central defender in my team, it's going to be David O'Leary. It has to be David O'Leary, just for the longevity of his career, the trophies that he won. And also, he was such a calm player, wasn't he? A calm and influence on the club, a former club captain, just an all-round good guy. I can forgive him very slightly for that game when he was manager of Leeds in 1999, of course, when he did celebrate Leeds' late winner, which ended up costing us the league title. But I can forgive him that, because it's a great career he had at Arsenal. I'll never forget his testimonial against Manchester United in 1993, when, of course, he did score a goal, didn't he, that night as well. Fantastic career he had at Arsenal. Just loved the guy. So my first centre-back choice is going to be David O'Leary. Next time I'll be choosing my second centre-back. Three more great centre-backs to choose from. I mean, we've had some fantastic defenders down the years, haven't we? We've been fortunate. That's probably been one of our strongest positions, hasn't it, over the years? Unfortunately, not so much over the last recent times, but certainly in history, that's been one of our strongest positions, hasn't it? So next time I'm going to pick my other centre-back. I wonder who's going to be in the top three choices there. That's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what your centre-back would be. My team's starting to come together now, isn't it? With David Seaman, Nigel Winterburn, Lee Dixon, and now David O'Leary. It's starting to take shape, isn't it? Looking a good side, actually, isn't it? Could probably win the Premier League this season. But we'll see how the rest of the team goes. So stay tuned to the channel for that coming up in the next video. Very, very soon, I'll be picking me second centre-back. In the meantime, of course, as always, come on, you Gunners!